Today I've got my apron on and we're gonna set a table, but not to eat. In springtime, it's a great time to get out into the community and do what we call tabling. And in tabling, for these purposes, it's how to set a great table for meeting the community, either at a booth or an event. And we're gonna give you some super tips so you have a successful and engaging experience. We're gonna talk about what happens before your event, during, and after. In the before, you want to choose a location. If you get a choice of where your table can be, always choose a table in a high traffic area with good visibility. If people can't see your table from far away, they will be less likely to stop by. Where can you have a table? Just about any mall will let you set up a table if you contact their office. They may ask you for proof of insurance, and Zonta International provides that at no charge. A farmer's market is also good. A college or university is excellent. And if you are setting up your table on a campus, be sure to be just outside the student center or in front of the dining hall. They all gotta eat. You know, setting up an attractive table is a lot more than sitting with a bunch of brochures on your table. In fact, you will notice that I won't be sitting. So when you are setting up your table, first thing you wanna do is use a tablecloth. A tablecloth hides a multitude of sins, including any bags that you may have brought to carry your things into your event. You also want to take a look at your background. You want it to be as solid as possible, and so that's a great place to hang up your club banner. You want to be visible from across the room. You want people to be looking across the room and know instantly what you are. So if you've got a big Zonta emblem up here, that's great. And you want to have a uniform and consistent color of your table. You want it to be simple and neat. And for goodness sakes, please be sure your signage is not crooked. So let's be recognizable, let's be tidy, and let's choose a focus. You know, Zonta does a lot of great work. And if you try to show everything that we do, you're gonna have a very unfocused table. So pick one issue. Maybe if it's before election time, you may want to talk about getting the vote out. You might want to focus on our STEM scholarships. And by the way, on the Zonta International website are some terrific upright banners that you can have printed off very inexpensively on vinyl. And they'll stand tall and they're very eye-catching and easy to set up. Another thing to do before your event is to plan an ask or two. For example, what do you want to have the outcome be? Do you want to ask them for contact information? Do you want them to ask to come to an event? Figure out what your purpose is. I cannot tell you how important it is to recruit and train your volunteers. Get a schedule. If the event is 6 hours long, then divide it into maybe 6 one-hour slots and have everybody trade off so they're fresh and they can watch each other. It's nice to have at least 2 people at a booth. What if you have to use the restroom or you're talking with somebody you don't want to let the crowd pass by? Now, where do you stand when you're tabling? I would say put your table up as close to the back wall as you can and come around the table so that you can engage the passerby quite nicely. Before your event, you want to role play. What do you say? And we're going to be talking about that. Another good idea is to advertise your table. Put up flyers. Hey, we're going to come see Zonta at the Destiny Mall on Saturday afternoon. Or social media is a great thing. Let people know, announce where you're going to be tabling, and you know what? It's not a bad idea for everybody to get a few people to come by and see it. So plant your visitors to start. People will, when they see a crowd, everybody naturally wants to know what's going on. But people are so busy today that we have to be sure that they're going by and getting the information without taking up a lot of time. So now you're going to gather your materials. Definitely bring some of your club applications. And if you've got a packet for new interested, we call them VIPs, vaguely interested people. If you've got a packet, bring some of those. So instead of me telling you some of the things that you can bring, let me show you. If your focus is on our Zonta Says No initiative, perhaps your color scheme would be orange, and you can have the members wear the t-shirts that are available on our Zonta store. It's always great to have chocolate on your table. That will bring them to your table. How about a sign that says 30? Because anybody 30 or less can join Zonta International for half price in our Young Professionals membership. It's always great to have pieces that they can take home, and you can order these in advance. This one is about the Zonta Foundation, and you'll see all of our Zonta colors. Always stay within those Zonta colors so your table looks uniform. This is a terrific piece. It talks about the centennial. And you know, a lot of clubs are having the torch come to their town this month. A Zonta table along with the torch or in advance of the torch is an excellent idea. This shows our programs, our international programs. Another thing to always have is your business card. This one you can purchase from Zonta online. It has a QR that takes them right to Zonta International, and some clubs have their own special cards, so that's always good too. So things that you can give away and let them take with them. Another great piece that one of the clubs, I think it was Glen Falls did, Irene Orton shared this with me. She prepared this for the district, but you could put your club logo, and on the back it says visit us at zonta.org, and inside is a piece of chocolate. It's a great way to thank a moving target. You know our symbol is the yellow rose, and this is a terrific thing. You may want to make a goal to share Zonta with 50 people in your day. Well, go to the dollar store, buy a bunch of yellow roses. There's usually at least 6 in the bunch. Snip them off and attach the logo on one side and the website on the other. And when you give away a rose to each person that you speak to, you'll know when you've got 50 people because you'll have no more roses left. One thing that's nice but not absolutely necessary for your table is to display a video. And just so you don't have to worry about internet connection, make sure you download it ahead of time. Check your space, see if you need an extension cord. And where can you get your video? YouTube has plenty. Zonta International has some. Pick a Zonta International project video perhaps and let it play, let it loop on your table. You always want to start with wearing your name tag. Instruct your team to wear their name tag. Not only does it make them look official, but it helps the passerby, the visitor to your table, remember your name. And speaking of that, make an effort to remember their name as well. Meeting the people is a lot like the courtship process. You first want to attract them, and then you want to find out a little about them, tell them a little about you, and maybe you'll get to the first date, so to speak, which might be an event that you've prepared ahead of time. It might be a half an hour before your upcoming meeting, or it might be a special membership event. Schedule that to be within 1 week of your table. So if I was trying to ask somebody out, I would want to know who they are. I want to know a little bit about them. It's nice to have a system of like a 5-question system that they can ask. Let them hold on to a clipboard. It's something to hang on to. They feel more secure. I like to use a Zonta logo pen and that you could even hand out as a gift. And I would keep one of the roses right on my clipboard under my thumb. You can print your questions right on an index card, and then when they're done, they go in there. Here's an example of 5 questions that you might want to ask. I'm going to pretend that I'm speaking with somebody, and then I'll also give you some tips on how to respond to them. Hi, have you ever heard of Zonta? They're going to respond either yes or no. If they say yes, say great. You know that it's an organization, it's a group of volunteers who help women and girls locally and around the world. If they say no, you say, great. It's a group of volunteers who help women and girls locally and around the world. Do you know that there's an Olympic-style torch coming through here early next year? Whatever month your torch is, that's what you would say. And you go on to say, it will be here to celebrate Zonta's 100th anniversary. Right now, we have 33,000 members in 66 countries around the world, and one of the very first clubs was formed here. Or you could say, and one of the clubs was formed in this city in the year blah, blah, blah. Do you ever feel like you're too busy to volunteer or give back to your community? Everybody says yes to this one. Sometimes they say, well, actually, I do volunteer for blah, 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 and you want someone who's busy. Get this objection right out of the way. Oh, I'm so glad to hear you're a busy person. Our members donate their time and treasure, 2 hours and $10 a month on average. 2 hours, about the time of a movie, once a month. And a lot of clubs take off the summer months as well. We're planning a special gathering of people who want to hear more about Zonta. Would you want to be on the invitation list? It's going to be a wine and cheese, short and sweet. It'll be a lot of fun. Can I invite you? She's either going to say maybe or yes or no. And no matter what she says, it's fine. But if she says maybe or yes, say what's the best way to reach you. If she says no, just move on to question number 5. Who do you know that might appreciate hearing more about Zonta? And hopefully they have someone for you. They may not, but maybe they'll think of it later and they can get in touch with you. One way to be certain to get the contact information of someone that you just have a feeling would be great for Zonta and Zonta would be great for her is to have a drawing. And you enter her contact information, name, email address, and phone number. Keep it simple. You can make a note on the back of the card after she leaves the table what you remember about her, because you will forget. You may say, oh, the lady with the glasses and the red hair who had 72 kids who needs an outlet with adults. Just make a note on there and then fold it. And another good thing to do is to put your initials on the back, so at the end of the day, the leads can be divided by the members who participated. Now, what can you use for a prize? It's nice to have a local gift certificate. Most people eat. It could be a gift certificate for the grocery store. It could be a nice dining experience. If you have your meetings in a restaurant, I would suggest that you get a gift card from them, offer to buy it at 50% off, and fund it from your membership committee line item. So the last thing is to give the rose. And when you do, you say, hey, you can find out more about Zonta. If you don't mind, please go online and check out more about Zonta. And if you think of anybody, there's a way to refer people on there. Okay, so just to recap, we talked about before the event, plan your table, plan your location, train and recruit your volunteers, practice role-playing, stopping the moving target. If they arrive a little bit early, they can hear the shift that's ahead of theirs, and you pick up on it and you get in the groove of it. Especially when everybody's asking the same 5 questions. Once you hear it a few thousand times, it's a piece of cake. Always have several people at the table, 2 to 3, I should say, at any given time, so that people can work around the perimeter and nobody's waiting to be contacted. So we talked about during the event, have the giveaway, but we didn't talk about after the event. After the event, it is so important to follow up. Take those leads that have your initials on them and give them a call and just let them know it was so nice to meet you at the table, wherever it was. Email will work, although a phone call is so much more personal. If you give them a few days to check out Zonta on the web, you can call back and just say, hey, did you get a chance? And she'll tell you yes or no. And if she says yes, ask her what did she like best about what she saw. The follow-up conversation is an opportunity to confirm attendance at an upcoming event and invite them to be a guest at one of your meetings. Thank you for listening and enjoy your tabling experience. I'm going to show you a couple of slides during this video too from different clubs around our district who have used tabling successfully, and I think you'll enjoy their images. And if you haven't subscribed to the Zonta District 2 YouTube channel, please hit subscribe now. That way, it's more efficient use of your time. You won't have to keep coming back to see if new content is added. Every time it's added, you'll get an email. And we add about once a month. Thank you. Have a great day.